Hi guys, so I'm doing a new tutorial and this one is a nighttime summer look. So this makeup look is specifically for those with wide set eyes. I am using my sister as a model for this particular video. Starting off, I'm using MAC's Oil Free Primer and I'm applying it to her T-zone with just my fingertips because I feel that it's easier to do that. So it's only going to be on the forehead, the sides of the nose, and onto the sides of the cheeks and the chin. Next, I'm going to be using L'Oreal's Green Primer, and this is just for any redness that she has on her face. And I'm just going to blend it into her skin, yet again, using my fingers. Now I'm using some concealer and I'm just going to dab the concealer where she needs it on any kind of dark spots or blemishes or anything like that. And I like to put the concealer on before the foundation. You can do it either way, but I just feel I get a little bit more coverage if I put it on before the foundation. Next, I'm taking Maybelline's Fit foundation, and the color is a tiny bit darker than her skin tone, just a little bit, but it gives her a nice kind of um, tan. It's not too dark, it's not overly dark. It definitely can pass as being her own skin tone. But it's just to kind of give you that, sort of a warm summer look. And I'm using my fingers again to blend it into the skin. You can use brushes. I just felt since it's a very thin foundation, it's very light coverage. I'm not putting that much on. I wanted to use my fingertips for that so I can really get it into the skin. Alright, now I'm using my color stay and I'm using the purple one and I'm applying it to her eyelids and I'm trying to be gentle. I'm patting it on. I'm not trying to use a brush or anything like that. I feel like you get more coverage when you're using your fingertips to apply kind of cream shadows. So I'm being really careful and getting it all over the lid so that it's an even kind of coverage and there's no kind of like spots where it's missing. So patting it is how I like to do it. Okay, next I'm using Face Atelier, and I'm actually going to use only the light one. So this is my first time using these colors, and I decided to use it all over the eyelid, but I started just putting it in the inner corners to kind of see how it would look on top of the cream shadow that we put. It sort of just mattified it and made it just a tiny bit lighter, but it still kept that beautiful purple color. So I started applying it in the inner corners and then just applied it the eye, all over the eyelid. Again, I'm just patting the eyeshadow. I'm not swiping it across because I really want a full coverage. Um, no gaps or anything like that. So I like patting eyeshadows on. Now, don't go over the crease for this. I'm just putting it right on the eyelid only. I'm taking an NYC shadow duo and I'm using the purple color. And I'm going to apply it on the outer corners first and work my way in. Again, patting it. And it's just another shade of purple that's really beautiful. And it's just a tiny bit darker. I'm applying it about halfway in to the eyelid, working from the outer corner in. Now, you don't want to extend the eyeshadow out that much. You just want to follow where your eyelid ends and not extend it outward or anything like that. At least not for this look. Okay, now I'm taking a black matte shadow and I'm putting it into the crease, not trying to extend it outward, just putting it where the eye actually ends and working it more in than I normally would on myself. But for those with wide set eyes, the key is to bring the shadows inwards to give the appearance that the eyes appear closer to the center of the face than they do outwards. Okay, now just take a blending brush and soften the line up. Just blend it in. You can bring it up a bit if you'd like, but make sure you don't try to bring it out. Blending your eyeshadows and extending that out, extending it on the outer corners of the eye is just going to make your eyes look farther apart, which is not what we want for this look. Okay, afterwards, I'm taking a shimmery kind of beige color. It's from one of my BH Cosmetics palettes. You can use any kind of color, white or beige or anything close to your skin color if you'd like. I just really like the shimmer that this gives off, so I'm just putting that underneath the brow bone. And I'm using my fingers for this, but you can use a brush, like I said. I just feel that I get more color payoff when I use my fingers, so. Now I'm taking that same shimmery beige that we used underneath the brow and I'm putting it on the inner corners of the eye. So this is yet again, it's going to open the inner corners of the eye and it's also going to bring attention to the center of your face. Taking the same black matte shadow that we used in the crease, we're just going to use it on the outer V. So we're going to create that V shape. Don't try to extend it outwards. We're just connecting the crease to the bottom of the eyelid just to make it more cohesive. I'm using a clean shadow brush this time. I'm just going to run over the line that we did on the crease, that we extended outwards, so that it kind of gives it a more blended in look between the shimmery beige and the purple that we have. You can also use a skin tone eyeshadow, and that can be used to blend in the purple. Alright, now I'm going to put some concealer underneath her eye. I'm using a BH Cosmetics palette, concealer palette. So I'm just going to dab on some with a concealer brush underneath her eye. And then I'm going to go in and just pat it softly into her skin, trying not to move or disrupt too much of the area around her eye. So try to be gentle. And you can also, with the concealer, bring it outwards if you maybe extended the eyeshadow a little bit too out. You can always go in and puts the concealer on the outside and have like a nice clean edge. Okay, now I'm just gonna fill in her brows. I'm not gonna do a heavy brow because it's a smoky look, and personally, I don't like very, very thick brows, and neither does she. So I'm just filling in with an eyeshadow because I feel that gives a much more natural kind of look to the brows. And I'm using a angled brush. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a Wet n Wild black eyeliner, and I'm going to line the upper lash line as close to the lash line as I possibly can. And I love this eyeliner. I know sometimes when you're using eyeliners, pencil liners especially, you can pick up the shadow. So you can just kind of just draw a little line on your hand to kind of get that color off and go back and use the liner. Okay, now I'm going to take another angled brush and I'm going to take a little bit of the black eyeshadow, and I'm going to go over the line that I did with the eyeliner just to kind of soften it up a bit. This is purely optional, but I like a more softer liner. If there's any fallout on the face, you can always clean it up. Okay, since this is a night look, you can put lashes and curl your lashes and all that. But I decided not to put lashes. She doesn't like wearing lashes anyways. So I'm just gonna put some mascara, concentrating a lot more on the top and putting a little bit on the bottom. Not too much on the bottom though, but enough to kind of balance off the look. Alright, next I'm going to take a blush, and I'm using a kind of rosy pink blush, and I'm applying it to the apples of her cheeks very, very lightly. Again, I don't want to disturb the skin too much. The object is just to have a little bit of color on the cheeks, but you don't want to look like you're wearing that much blush because we do have a smoky eye. So, just a little bit, no contouring at all. So the next part to cut out was actually I applied a lip butter, and I'll put the link in the bottom for the color, and it kind of cut off, so